Chapter 1. Safe Freediving Practices. Safety first, and no divers get hurt. Freediving isn't an inherently dangerous activity, but certain safety precautions should always be in place. Keep these in mind before we go further in depth. Please enjoy this sport peacefully and safely. Never freedive alone. The most important safety procedure to follow is to never freedive alone. In case of an emergency, having someone with you will save your life. Dive with a buddy. Always be conscious of where your buddy is in the water and make sure your buddy does the same for you. Make sure your buddy is wearing fins when they're overseeing your dives, and make sure you do the same while watching your buddy. This will rapidly increase response time in case of an emergency. Your buddy should be qualified. Make sure they're familiar with up-to-date freediving rescue techniques, which you will learn more about in later chapters. It's always good to practice rescuing techniques, so ask your buddy if they want to join you in a rescue simulation. This helps just to make sure your skills are in check. A lifeguard watching over a pool or beach is not a qualified buddy. They may not know the proper freediving rescue techniques, and they will not have an appropriate response time. Know your limits. As freedivers, we must push ourselves, but we must also respect our limitations. It is a fine balance. You can achieve this balance by listening to the signs of your body. Understand that if you push your limits too far, you'll black out or suffer from a loss of motor control. We'll go into more detail about these conditions in the later chapters, but they can be avoided by listening to your body's warning signs. Your depth and breath hold times should increase gradually. Nobody winds up at 50 meters overnight. Respect your buddy's limits. Make sure your buddy is familiar with freediving rescue techniques, which we will discuss later in this guide. If they are unfamiliar with freediving rescue techniques, share what you know or recommend that they take a course. Stay within your limits and your buddy's limits. They will not be able to help you if you're beyond their maximum depth. Be healthy. Do not smoke cigarettes before freediving. Carbon monoxide binds to your red blood cells. This means they will be able to carry less oxygen and put you in a bad position underwater. Cigarettes will also lower your lung capacity and breath hold time. Keep yourself in good fitness. Freediving and preparing for a freedive does require some exertion. Stay hydrated. Wear sunscreen. Eat potassium to avoid muscle cramps. Never hyperventilate. Hyperventilating may increase your breath hold time, but it comes at a great cost. We will go into more detail during the physiology section of this guide. Always take calm, relaxed breaths before every dive. Cramps. At some point in their time underwater, most freedivers will encounter a cramp. It is normally in the calf. To make the pain go away, grab the blade of your fin, flex your foot, and pull back gently. If the cramp is extreme, your buddy may have to help you. If you're frequently suffering from cramps, your fins may not fit correctly or may be too stiff. Improper finning techniques may also lead to cramps. To prevent cramps, eat bananas and other foods high in potassium. Medical conditions. When you sign up for a freediving course, you'll be given a form to fill out asking about your pre-existing medical conditions. It is important to be honest on this form and ask your instructor if you have any questions. Some conditions, such as pregnancy, lung diseases, and recurring fainting, have a high risk of complications while freediving. If you ever swallow water or experience a near-drowning event, always seek medical attention. Even if you feel fine, see a doctor. If there's water trapped in your lungs, you may not even notice. When you go to sleep, your horizontal body will move the water. It can become impossible to breathe, and victims drown in their sleep. This is easily preventable by seeing a doctor. Take a course. This guide is not a substitute for a freediving course. Expertise from a certified professional cannot be replaced by reading a book. This is a matter of safety. This guide is for people interested in learning more about freediving before signing up for a course. It is also for people who have previously taken a course and are looking to refresh their knowledge. This guide has some useful information that is not included in a typical freediving course. It is beneficial to all freedivers. It is not for people to read and then jump directly into the ocean. Remember that freediving can be potentially dangerous. Respect the ocean. As freedivers, we must not only consider human safety, we must also consider the safety of our oceans. Make sure your behavior does not hurt the ocean. Never touch coral. The organisms that make up corals are very sensitive, and touching them can kill them. Do not touch or harass marine life. Touching marine life can damage their immune system and introduce human-borne diseases to the ocean environment. Do not take any seashells from the ocean. The chemical components of shells are necessary to maintain a balanced ecosystem. Some organisms need the shells to live in. Remove any debris that you see in the ocean. Before removing it, make sure no organisms are living inside. Many fish, octopus, and other creatures take up residence inside plastic bottles or tin cans.